The Safety Week 2019 is a unique opportunity for internal and external airport stakeholders, government agencies, local authorities, and the local community to be sensitized through bringing people together, inspiring learning, and sharing of values and experiences in an enjoyable way.
The desire is to ensure that all aviation stakeholders are engaged so as to sustain the required and sanctioned safety standards.
According to ICAO, safety is the state in which the possibility of harm to persons or of property damage is reduced and maintained at or below an acceptable level through a continuing process of hazard identification and safety risk management.
The essence of the week is to coordinate our functions and to sensitize each other about what the other is doing and the importance of each one's role.
We're looking at broadening the scope, looking at putting everybody, every stakeholder together towards enhancing the performance of aviation safety at Banjul International Airport.
Promoting safety at the airport. This is part of the second annual Safety Week celebration at Banjul International Airport. We have here stakeholders for safety at the airport because the theme for this year's celebration is working together for safety.
With civil aviation, management has organized what we call a Safety Week. Safety Week is more to do with sensitizing the public as to what affects the airports in terms of environmental effects.
The whole idea of this Safety Week is to do things that you enjoy and entertain. So you can see, like you said, I try to dance here and there and encourage them to also make it lively so that they don't feel that we are going too far into distance. But it's all, again, awareness and people asking questions. What are they doing? Who are these people? And as you can see, the message is clear.
In the aviation industry, it's important that people understand that no single unit or department can end the show. For you to be successful, the interplay of all departments must come into play. If a flight information is gotten that the flight is approaching Banjul per se, as an example, ATC gets the information that the flight is coming to Banjul. It passes the information through the system. And then the weather must be communicated. That in Banjul, the estimate weather on arrival would be so. So it goes from ATC now, and then the Met has a stake. From the Met, the communications at Aero Communications have a stake because the message must be sent across all the players. You have You have the air navigation systems, the nav aids. Those who man them must be readily there to make sure that the nav aids are all in place. Every player is important. If you stop at one player without connecting to the other, the synergy is lost. When you lose a synergy, any small element has to play its part. Otherwise, the synergy is not complete.
Safety is everybody's business. And you're talking about collaboration. We all have to collaborate in order to achieve safety. You know, this is the nice part about aviation. You know, everybody has his or her part to play, and everybody's part is important.
We have learned that there are two sections in the airport, the land side and the air side. And now we are here on the air side. We have learned that there are white marks on the runway, whereby when aeroplanes are coming, they target that white light. We have also learned equipments that people use to make sure flights land safely.
Landing an aircraft here, you need aircraft or communication between the controller and the aircraft. The controller needs to communicate with the ground, with the people on the ground. You know, ensuring that the runway is clear, you know, it's safe. All equipments are working, communicating with electrical people, etc., to make sure that everything is under control.
So these runway edge lights are of different colors. They are yellow, and they are 60. They have a difference of 60 meters between them. But when an aircraft is taking off from there and it's running, when it comes towards this end, the lights will change. They are white. They will change to yellow. That will tell the pilot that, oh, you are near. You are coming towards the end of the runway.
You are here today because this relates to safety, okay? And because of that, we don't fold our hands and say we're waiting until there's trouble before we work. Every day, we have our routine maintenance that we do, and that's why we always need a vehicle on standby. We also need regular trainings and refresher trainings all the time. We always need our test equipment always working, tested and available. Every day we have checks that we do. Weekly we have checks that we do. The signals that we radiate. We don't wait for aircraft to tell us there's a problem. We have what we call portable ILS receiver. And that we are able to tune exactly the signals we are sending to the aircraft. We can tell if there's a problem, even before they tell us.
This year, the frame of activities actually is broadened in order to take into stock every stakeholder that has a stake in aviation safety. The program of activity has also taken that dimension. To look at it this year, we are able to not only go to the Alcalos, but we had a further engagement outside just the Alcalos and the Safos like we did last year. This year we looked at some hot spots we call hazard spots in aviation, and that particularly looks at the abattoir. If we look at the abattoir and look at the scope of what we do in aviation, the bird strikes that we often hear about come as a result of activities of people like the abattoir, when they have refuse, remnants of what they kill and slaughter. And that's why it was important this year we had the engagement taken down to the abattoir. The engagement was so enriching that the abattoir people had the lesson. They were able to be exposed to what it is that negatively affects the Banjul International Airport as regards to what they do. We came down to the next step of the journey, that was the safe hole. We went to the safe holes just like last year, because this is reaffirming the commitment that we feel the safe hole, the alcalos, the village community leaders have a stake in this. Our dump sites are very close to the airport, and the birds that come there, they scavenge for what they eat, all come because the waste, the dump sites are not properly managed. So the engagement with the alcalos further reiterated the commitment that everybody needs to take as a stakeholder. Like we say, it is together for a better aviation in the Gambia.
Katu ini mo hanna tar almandara diari nar bulo kuno langa ni ko ke mendi wal be futa kayro wala nan ko kulnya ku mata ba ka kurunga na le singa kacha e apoto fane ye mo le sunu ani minu bi siri wala si nyoluti e apoto si nyomu jumalati men ya lon ko ka do ko ke je ani men ya lon ko be sabatini e apoto dantam yo ni sefu banko dun na rek dulade damantalo wala mo e apoto si nyoluti anu airport o anyantale ay balu la me anon ka be senari kar nin dole do ko ko lafta airport o bete ala tanko kama bara signol men be airport o bala ol mango e bulo ka fum fe ndola do ko refundi non
Yeah, we have safety week right now. It goes on for a week from Monday to Friday. And the main thing about it is just for safety promotion. So have people, especially in the aviation industry, outside of the aviation industry, the public as a mass to have an idea about the challenges we face at the airport and just a general sensitization.
Well, first of all, the reason why we had them see this exercise is because they need to know the severity, the consequences of an aircraft accident and incident. So in this case, it's an aircraft accident. They have their families, sisters, brothers, fathers, and sons and daughters. These people usually fly using the Banjul International Airport. So the reason why we showed them is for them to have confidence in us that we can always do it and that we have the capacity, we have the equipment, we have everything it takes to make sure we effect rescue and fight fire whenever there is an aircraft accident or incident. The reason why we had the domestic fire safety presentation is to prepare the people who are going to be the first responders. People think the fire service are the first responders, but the people living in the houses and offices are the first responders. So they need to know some of the consequences when you fail to follow the fire procedures, safety procedures or steps. So that is why we wanted them to understand some of the things that are necessary for them to help themselves even before the coming of the fire service. The reason why we had the drama too was to help them understand better. It was sort of an edutainment, to educate them and to entertain them. Educate them by showing them some of the procedures in kitchen fires and some of the fires that involve oil.
We have students because in aviation, we have what we call creating the next generation of aviation professionals. And these are the people that we use in the communities to further enlighten people, to further disseminate the information and grow with the love of aviation so that as we go, aviation becomes part of the consciousness of this country.
Which areas of this airport are described as the land side?
Land side.
And which areas are also described as the air side?
I'm seeing the future in these children here and these school kids. So we can talk about safety and we can talk about safety all day and all night and emphasize it at the airport and emphasize it to our teams. But the future of safety is through these boys and girls here. So my message to you kids is after this week, don't forget what you've seen, don't forget what you've heard. March for the future, think about safety, think about what we do and what you do as a community to help support your airport with regards to safety. You are now the ambassadors. You are now the ambassadors for Banjul International Airport, and go forth and tell everybody else what a great organisation this is, what a great airport is, and what absolutely professional people we have here working at Banjul International Airport to make your community safe.
The safety in the airport, within the airport, might be only talk about the airport personnel and the passenger that goes in. But in a broader perspective, the safety of the airport goes beyond the premises of the airport. It goes to the communities. Because may God forbid, if there are crashes in terms of landing and takeoff, the consequences will be realized by the neighboring communities. So that's why our partnership with the airport to make sure that the airport is safe is very paramount.
People of the airport and close communities of the airport are now getting to know the importance of safety. The programs we hold, the sensitization, the outreaches are really working. These days you talk to people and they are able to tell you something that is relevant to safety of the airport and are collaborating and are cooperating with the authority and other stakeholders to assure safety of the airport.
Departments used to send 102. This year we had departments sending 30. Showing the amount of awareness, the readiness and the preparedness from the departments to work towards togetherness so that the BIA becomes the safest airport in Africa. And that's the drive. Each year a week is scheduled, is put aside so that we look at what it is our problems at BIA and then we go headlong with all the stakeholders.
Safety is a priority for GIA in all our activities and it is a primary responsibility of all our staff. The company is committed to providing requisite resources to implement safety policies and ensure that it is understood and promoted at all levels of our organizational wide structure.
My ministry therefore applauds the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority for initiating the Aviation Safety Week. I am told as we speak that improvements in aviation safety have resulted into 0.6 fatal accidents per 1 million flights globally, approximately translating into 0.4 fatalities per million hours flown.
It has been helpful because I learned about safety, and safety is good for our airport, it's good for our health, for our community and the whole Gambia.